So after our 1 month old boy finishes his bottle, I set him down on a pillow on the table. And moments later, he erupts in vomit. I'm shocked, but I'm not surprised. He has this very large appetite, but a very small stomach. So feeding him is always this delicate balance between giving him enough food so that he'll sleep and turning him into a 2 liter bottle of Diet Coke with Mentos dropped into it. I felt a little foolish, if I'm being frank. My wife and I agonized over the decision to have kids. So I conducted a field study. I spent like a year asking everyone I knew and everyone I met how they felt about their decision regarding kids. And the conclusion that I came to was that everyone was pretty happy with whatever decision they'd made. But the parents were happy in this fundamental, almost spiritual way, whereas the non parents were mostly just bragging about how much money they still have. The conversation that stuck with me the most came from a person that I very much admire. He said, "You know, I love my wife. She's great. But that boy, he's my soulmate." Not my experience. I thrive on peace. And our lives have now become chaos. I'm standing over this puddle of vomit, and all I can do is think, this too shall pass. It makes me think of this time when I was 12 years old. My dad took me on a 3 week long work trip with him. And on the last day of the trip, we ended up on the Texas Star, which is this enormous Ferris wheel at the center of the Texas State Fair. Near the top of the Ferris wheel, looking out over the lights of the city, my dad turns to me and he says, "You know, I don't know if I'll ever be happier than I am at this moment." At the time, I took that to be an expression of how happy he was with me. But now that I'm in the chaos, I realize that there's another way to interpret that sentence. It's that after parenthood, happiness trends downward. In fact, I feel like it's kind of a shared joke that all of my friends are in on it. They all got tricked into having kids, and the only thing they can do is pay the misery forward by duping the next guy. A few years after those vomit comet days, some friends who had a boy roughly the same age as ours went on vacation to Costa Rica with their son and came home without him. They were climbing up a steep hill, and a tree fell and hit the boy. And his dad standing right there, not a scratch on him. I was 2,500 miles away, just staring at the clock, willing it to be nap time so that I could, I don't know, browse Facebook or something for an hour. While my friend watched his son get swept away by that tree. They can be gone any moment. Every bedtime is another one that you're not going to get in the future. Every diaper you change and every puddle of vomit that you mop up, it's another opportunity to be of service to your kid before you're not together anymore. After I found out about what happened in Costa Rica, I decided to take our boy camping at the lake. And the boy, he's energized. He's, this is my first time touching a sleeping bag, and this is my first time being inside a tent. And we do all the things. We build a fire, and we cook hot dogs and make s'mores, and we tell ghost stories. And about 1:30 in the morning, it's very cold, it's very dark. And we can hear the coyotes rustling around outside the tent, howling. He wakes up and he says, "Dad, can you keep me warm?" And so I unzip my sleeping bag a little bit. It's cold. I pull him close and I said, "Of course, buddy, I'll always keep you." But what I was really trying to say was, "You're my soulmate." And he doesn't understand. Not yet. Any more than I did back on that Ferris wheel. I'll have more chance. And I'm not sure that I'll ever be happier than I am at that moment. What I realized is I better soak it in, because this too shall pass. Thanks for listening.